Hello, welcome back to my Battle Knight Cyberpunk playthrough. I went ahead and started a new one, kind of just going with a new team comp here that I want to kind of showcase, and then want to make this a little more in-depth, going into the character's actual abilities and then making some recommendations for anyone that tries the game. And then once I level this one up a bit and make a couple videos on its playthrough, I'll probably just transition to my main account and kind of do videos on that. So again, this is by Battle Knight Cyberpunk, game you can play on Google. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just go through some of the team comps. So when you first start playing, if you watch my previous ones, you kind of level up pretty quickly. And you kind of get a slow stop around level 35 to 45 or so. If you aren't spending any money, the main thing that you want to do is get this character right here. So this one's called Harp. It's one that you get automatically. And you can get his legendaries, as they're called them, the stats. So if you top left, it says Obsidian Order. Just to the right of that, it says Artifact Trial. If you select that one, and you select the little orange things on the bottom there, it'll show his equipments. The one you want to get is this one. This one's is whenever our units dies, cause burn damage. Deals 50% indirect damage per round to all enemy units for 3 rounds. So the strat you can run is you essentially get your team, have tanks, do whatever you want, but all you're wanting to do is buff this guy so that as your team dies, it puts a ton of burn on everyone, and so he's able to essentially one-shot entire teams. And you run... Where's it at? And you run... Let's see here. See if I can find them. These guys right here. So these guys have a basic ability that says at the start of each round, increase attack of our units with the highest attack by 10% for 2 rounds. It also says recover 350% of his attack to one of our units with the lowest health and clear all dots. That's his rage skill or the activated ability. And then when attacking, increase attack of one of our units with the highest attack by 10%. Or you can have it increase it by 20%. And so you run like 3 of those guys and the main guy. And what that strategy does is allows your team to like full burn. Which if I think about it, I might have a character that has that strat, but I'm not sure, so I won't bother trying to look for it. So anyways, if you're kind of playing free to play, that's kind of what you want to get. You want to make sure to get those heroes and this guy here, and then, level it up from there. He's all burn based, so, he'll do 300 or 200% of his damage to 3 units, and then he'll do 50% chance to add burns and a couple other things. But for this playthrough, I'm not focusing on that. What I'll be doing is stacking this guy. This guy is called Legion. He does play really well with the hero that you can get from the newbie event, which I'm not going to do here. So on the top of the screen here, you see newbie event there. If you hit the arrow on the right, it'll take you to this thing. And turn the music down a little bit. And these boxes, level 4s, will get you a character called Shrita. And essentially what he does, and I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos, is he makes it so anytime your team is attacked, it puts burn dots on the enemy. And so that's really good with this hero because he gets his passive anytime you apply dots to the enemy. And when that happens, he then does like a super attack. So I'll go ahead and just read all of his abilities because this will be the main character for this series. So we'll go ahead. His name is Legion. So it's Raymond gains half rage points while attacking or getting attacked than normal. At the end of the round, if Raymond has 5 units of energy liquid, he consumes all energy liquids to grant all friendly units 5 layers of Legion shield, lasting 2 rounds. At the same time, he gains 100 rage. Legion Shield provides each layer increases 30% indirect unique damage immunity, but breaks 1 layer upon receiving direct damage. So direct damage in this game is if someone directly attacks you with the main attack. Indirect damage is something that specifies indirect damage, and then unique damage is anything specifying unique damage, and then there's dot damage as well. and various types of damages under those subsets. His ability is attacks the unit in the exact opposite position of him for 10 times, with each attack dealing 10% direct damage and applying 1 layer of blast. When Raymond consecutively attacks the same target, each attack increases the damage of blast applied by the next attack by 20%. And this effect does reset when a target is switched. And then Blast this is a type of burn and cannot be resisted, deals indirect damage equal to 100% of Raymond's attack for the current round. And then this one here is his first passive ability. It says, after releasing Rage Skill, assist the 2 friendly units suffering from the most dots effects by randomly clearing half of them. His second route, or essentially you can select which one you want, is one that takes care of like a different type of like debuffs. His third route is something that removes like amplified damage effects. So for early game, just the infect and bleed removal is pretty good. His second ability, normal attacks now attack the unit in the exact opposite position of Raymond 2 times, with each attack dealing 10% direct damage and applying 1 layer of blast. Gain 1 energy liquid after attacking. And then this also says, and this is where the dot damage thing matters, every time when enemies take unique dot damage, Raymond has a 10% probability to gain 1 unit energy liquid. If it is burned, the probability is increased by 20%. And then his final ability is, before releasing Rage Skill, for every 5 dot unique damage effects friendly units have, he deals 2.5% more burn damage in units in the same column. So what that means is you do a shit ton of damage, and I'll kind of show that here. And I'll go ahead and slow it down. Oops. So you can kind of see the actual character's ability. So that's him on the far left, closest. Oops. And I'll do it slow for this just so you can see the, these guys hit pretty hard. There we go. So. Lucky. I don't think I should have won that. I got lucky there. Nice. Okay, so one of the things in this early game as well to know, so I'm level 45 now. Let's see, did I get a reward for any of that? I'll have to check and see. Is that if you don't get a hero from this higher event, every like 15 days, 20 days, it'll do a reset and you'll be able to select different ones, heroes from the selection here, or you'll be able to wait for an event. The odds of getting heroes increases every time you do it. So it's like one time it takes 20 of the perfect hires, then the next 3 it takes 30, then the next X it takes 40, and so on and so forth. So it kind of is an anti-whale design for the game. And then the other thing too also is that this game is very focused on like slow play. So you're not gonna like be able to spend 50 hours, you know, over and over and over and just plow through the game. It's literally like you progress to a certain point, you can get back on and like, you know, do stuff and take care of certain, you know, daily things or whatnot. But after you've done all your main stuff, you really don't have to log in that often or play that long. So there are other things like ship wars and things like that that I'll show in a little bit, that will, you know, give you something to do and stuff, and then possibly more things at level 120 and higher level there. But the game is very like slow paced, so it's like for the long run. So, you know, if you plan to play the game and just immediately get through the story or get through the game, it doesn't work that way. It takes time. So it's meant to last a long time. Anyways, what was I doing? I'll get these real fast. So for example, I only have 8 of those hires. You can see it on the top right there. This thing is going to reset in about another day or so, and so I'm going to wait until it resets, so I only have to spend 20 of them to get another one of this character. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. When you're leveling through the story mode, generally, if you don't have, for every one of these like perfect hero characters you get, that's like you've actually like looked at the characters and figured out your strategy and stuff. That's how many it'll take to get like plus 10 levels, plus 15, plus 20 levels advanced farther in the like mission modes than you would be if you just played with like no heroes at all or didn't do any of that stuff. So like, for example, I have this guy here, Raymond, and he allows me to fight mobs that are roughly 10 levels above me. For every one of those that you get a higher chance to get higher, or you can progress farther and farther. Yeah, so. Kind of surprised. I thought it would stack. I might be able to beat this, actually. Let's try it one more time. So one of the things too, boss mobs, so every like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 levels, what have you, 30 levels, you'll be fighting boss mobs, and these guys can't be stunned by normal means. So there's certain heroes that can get around it, but generally speaking, oh, that sucks that he hit that one. Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, no, not this one. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to this garage here. Don't have anything to level up, that's unfortunate. Can't do the hyperspace. We'll try this. Yeah, so you can see though I'm about 10 levels below. That's roughly the cutoff of where you can get per character that you have. That's the like buffs type, the purple power type. Let's try that. Ooh, unlucky. I'll have to restart. So my strategy there is one of the characters, the chick with like the samurai hat and stuff like that, she becomes immune when one of your characters dies. So I'm wanting my main tank to take a lot of damage and then die before she does. Which, it's not quite happening. Ooh, that is a lucky double hit though. That might be enough to win the game. Yep, I got it. Nice. Lucky. There we go. Yeah, another reason I wanted to start making videos on this is I was thinking about is like I actually really enjoy this game. I think its art's really pretty. I think that it's, you know, so super in depth and stuff like that. Like it obviously can improve and stuff, but like I was looking on YouTube and there's not like hardly anything about it, which blows my mind because I've played a ton, and I mean a ton of like Google app games of this style, and over the last like 15 years, and I really enjoyed this one. I don't know, maybe it's just because I like the slower pace. It's I like games that are simple in like pace and aren't just busybody, but also complex as far as like essentially deck building or, you know, team building and stuff. I think this one's been the best one I found on Google Play Store so far. So yeah, since I don't see any YouTube videos about it, I'll do it myself. That's the idea. Alright, before progressing, I'll go ahead and show what I mean. So if you go to the Cap Inc. here, or Bees Club, on the very top left, I might have shown this before, but it'll show you the handbook. It'll break down the different camps or like types of heroes. It'll show you their various progressions and levels and stuff and their abilities. You'll have specialized equipment for each hero that you can get. You have specialized, they're called holodims that you can get, and you've got specialized suits for each of the types of heroes that you can get as well. So, yeah, and if you, for example, select a hero, you know, it'll show you all of their abilities like that. I'll show you all of their abilities here, all of their abilities here, and so on and so forth. I think it's kind of like, think of like how what is it? It's not called Elder Scrolls. What is it called? Path of Exile is to Diablo, whereas like Path of Exile is the like super way more. There's like, it's not more complex, but it's like kind of more complex. Where it's like Final Fantasy 10, where it has all the little like trees that you can do for abilities and builds you can make and stuff like that. Like that's like this, but for most of these team building games, where like every single hero is extremely unique, has all its own unique abilities and whatnot, and so you can really spend a lot of time just finding strategies and building actual unique teams, which is really cool. So that's one of the reasons I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I will let whoever wants to try the game look at all those abilities, and in the meantime, I'll just play these two strats that I'm doing. So we'll see how far we can go with this one, and then, like I said, go to the main one. So I'll go ahead and just kind of quietly let it play for the next few rounds and go from there. I'm screwed. Okay, yeah, I can't even kill a boss with that. Alright. I'll probably have to level a little bit before I try that one again. At the very top there, we'll go to the arena. Got a couple attacks I can do, so I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, he is the broken hero on this team. I'll just hit robot. I'll just skip this one because it's against low-level robots. Let's try fighting this guy. Alright, that's all she wrote for that. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'll get another one of the Legion characters and kind of progress from there. I think I'll be able to beat this boss once I do that, so let me go ahead, I'll show a little bit on the main account and then call it quits. Oh, that's weird. Nothing's going on up there. Alright. I'll save that for a second. So, ship wars is one of the things that keeps you busy. I don't know if I broke this down before, but you've got your guild tasks, which get you resources. You just, send, characters onto that and stuff, and then it gets you resources. You've got your ships that you upgrade doing guild-related stuff. The first one, the auto one you start with, it gives what's called Clash of Guilds tech, so that's what happens during the guild wars. And then it has your personal stuff, which is what you get during normal PvP or PvE. And each ship piece has its own abilities. One of the ones that we're about to get, we're super close to it, we're like 800 away actually, is this one here, which says when guarding, permanently increase speed by 30%, which is really big, just 2 attacks first in the game. And then overall it increases your damage output by like 5%, I think. And then the other one that I'm going to be getting after that for the guild is this one here, which is when guarding, permanently increase damage immunity by 30% and increase attack by 5% of our units in the back row, which I think ends up being 7% when it's fully upgraded. Those are really important because I forgot about these. Because what you do is this thing on the far right here, Clash of Guilds. Oh, and to get to the screen, obviously, just click the ship on the bottom of the screen, Guild. And you get rewards based on what you do. I'll show the next guild war after that, but essentially you compete against like a ton of different servers and clans and stuff, and we happen to be the third place winner for this last one, so we're probably objectively the 5th strongest clan in this group of servers, but this clan's actually been really active and really good, so yeah, everyone's pretty active. But yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll show the next ship war when we have it. It'll be a couple of days. And in the meantime, I'll do a couple matches of this character and call it quits. Oh, and I guess I should say this is 4 speed is the max speed, so I'll do a couple matches on the thing here as well. I guess I'll just skip through these because the arena resets. The arena has seasons every week, I think it is, or a couple of weeks. But I kind of have a rule in the clan to not attack teammates unless you have to, so I'll just skip through these. Alright, and then, just for giggles, I'll go ahead and show a couple attacks. I believe I found this guy, weirdly enough, has the best team in my clan besides me. So I'll slow it down just a little. Alright. I think he has a pretty good team as well. Alright, that's a couple matches for the end there. Most of my team can't handle my team anymore, just because this character again gives it damage immunity. I think I showed it in the last one. I did find ways to improve my team, because probably about another week and a half I'll have most of the combo set up for what I'm actually trying to build, and I'll kind of go in depth about it then. But from the last time, I figured out that using these holodams on this character is very good, because this specific character buffs my team and the rest of my team, but also does a lot of damage output. But I was noticing she kept on dying over and over, so I got these holodams, and specifically this one here, It's 6-piece set. Says permanently increase tenacity by 20% when under attack. Increase extra 10% damage immunity for this round. And that's really good on this character because she's absolutely immortal in her cocoon or whatever sphere phase. But when she's out of it, she doesn't take increased damage or anything, but she isn't this tankiest hero either. So having this extra damage immunity seems to have made a big difference in my team being able to kill characters. I'm pretty close to adding this character, which will be the next big thing on it. But I gotta finish getting this machine set because it makes her attack an extra time, I believe, or at least do extra damage. And then I also have to get a 6-piece set of this as well before I put her in. And I gotta get this character to 2-star, this character to 2-star, and this character to 2-star, because then all three of them will kind of interact with each other and make it more viable than what I currently have on. So I'll be replacing these two guys. But essentially, this character, once she's 2-star, will give her and the one next to her damage immunity, which will further increase this character's power because they're sitting next to each other. And then this one's 2-star will give me this ability that says every time a hero obtains an energy, there's an 80% chance to give damage immunity or increase damage for 2 turns, stacking up to 5 layers. And then this character says every time that she attacks, she gets a increased chance once she's 1-star of getting additional energy, and she only uses 1 energy to do an additional attack. So it super stacks. So the idea is that they will all combine with each other to kind of increase power, increase the overall survivability of the team. But I'm not sure how that'll all work, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and call that quits for the day, and next video will be up in a couple of days. Have a good one.